And just like that. Hi, guys.
Hi.
It's Friday, and we're live, baby. Live at 2 p.m. EST on Friday for our first reactions of the brand new episode of And Just Like That. Doing this every single Friday over here at Pod in the City on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit subscribe and hit like, and you can hit share, copy link, and you can send it out to all your friends, all your besties who watch this show. Guys, did we like this episode? Write in the comments right now, because I'm gonna say in three. Amanda and I are gonna say let's tell each other in like 3, 2, 1. Did you like it? 3, 2, 1.
Yes, asterisk. Yes, asterisk. I enjoyed it because I was so filled with glee and joy about like how much we can rip this to shreds. I'm like, everyone in the comments is gonna be just fucking tearing this thing apart, and I can't wait.
I gotta say, I liked it more than some of the other episodes.
Oh, sure. I mean,
because at least it was like somewhat lighthearted. You know who's not lighthearted is Carrie Bradshaw. What has happened to her? She is the most uptight twat I've ever seen. Ever. It's
and
like,
Miranda is like, oh, I'm so sorry, Carrie. Oh my God, I know you're right. I'm like, who are you?
Miranda wants Carrie to sing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, okay?
I'm glad you got mad about that too.
And Carrie's like, oh God,
I'm out here trying.
I'm not here. I hope she doesn't see me.
She says, I'm out here trying to host. I'm like, well, if you were a good host would jump in and like save your friend. In The Office, there's like a scene where Michael's trying to sing karaoke and he's trying to get someone to join in with him. And like even Jim jumps in because it's so uncomfortable. And like no one at this party is going to save her. Joy isn't going to jump up there. Henry?
Well, eventually, one of the songs that does happen had me genuinely cackling, and that is when Bitsy and Giuseppe sang Shallow together.
You know who else found that really funny? Guess who else found that hysterical?
MPK.
The whole writer's room, baby. Because I listened to the writer's room podcast, and it is, I said to John before we got on, I'm like, I was imagining you listening to this, and then I thought, I think with John's emotional state right now, this would break him.
You know, here's literally what happened, guys. Wednesday, if you're following our life at all or our
let's do a little secret.
First of all, hi guys. Hi Sarah. Hi Rebecca. Hi Wicked Witch of the West. Hi Lady Jane. Hi Meredith. Hey Lisa. Hey Gabrielle. Hey Diana. Hey Heather. Hey Julie. Hey Andy. Hey Sarah. Hey, oh my God, everyone's here. This is on and popping now. Here's where we're at.
Yeah.
Amanda and I, every Wednesday, we do a weekly roundup live, all right?
Yeah.
At least it has been for the last year. Anyway, Amanda and I, you know, it was the full moon this week, I found out.
Oh, that actually, I felt that.
We typically record that and then we do our Patreon. Well, we got up in our feelings about something. You know, go back and figure out what it might be. Go back and
guess what it was. What one little thing pushed
it
over the edge.
Go look for some hints of what pissed us off.
We'll never tell, but you might be able to figure it out. But anyway, it ended with us revamping everything.
What we're going to do, please give us a temperature check, because I am worried. I think some people do appreciate our time. We are going to actually do a pre-recorded weekly roundup and change it up a little bit.
Yeah. Look, we're trying to make money off of this. And we made, what did you say, like 85 cents?
We looked back. Here's the problem. We look back at our weekly roundup and we do make 45 cents off of doing that. And so because of the way it's structured and stuff, we're actually going to try and change up the structure a little bit and release.
It'll be more fun for you guys too.
We're going to release some shorter videos that are a little more like concentrated and to the point of what we're doing. Okay. Like the general idea we have going right now is we're going to have like 3 general topics. One will be a movie. So we'll release a movie review type video 10 minutes long.
You gotta go to release it every week.
We'll have a hot topic video, and for right now, we'll have like a drag race video. They'll be just shorter.
Movie hot topic. We're talking about Sheena and Brock this week. So check it out. But we're going to do one last one on the 16th to say goodbye. We did it my way. Big farewell, send off to the live. Sorry, but you guys can come over here if you want to talk to us live.
Rebecca, okay, there is a way that we could be in the live chat if we do a what's it called? Like a premiere?
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure.
If we put the episode on a premiere, Amanda and I could both be in the live chat. I've also contemplated, now here's the problem. I don't want to
talk about too much, but not anyway, sorry, keep going.
I don't want to put anything behind a paywall, but part of me wouldn't mind doing the weekly roundup with our Patreon members in a live.
Let's just go with what we got now. We'll still drop it on at the same time, but we will both be in the chat, which also gives me a day off during the week.
We're also going to still keep doing our Friday lives. So
even after and just like that, we'll always have a Friday live. So anyway, that's a little update for you guys. Also on Patreon this week, we're going to be talking about girls, just so you know. We haven't recorded it yet because everything kind of exploded after the weekly roundup. So,
okay, now, that was what I was going to get to, is being all up in our feelings. Oh my God. Then we started recording the weekly or the Patreon, and it's girls, and like, it's heavy shit, honestly, in the episode. And I just was like,
you're not in the mood.
I was all butthurt. I was like,
I feel like we should maybe put a pin in this. And then we just restructured everything. But then by the end, we were like, everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like, we were both so jazzed. Oh, and do you want to tell them what we're going to do once we finish this season of Girls? You guys are going to do.
But what I'm realizing is that it still won't happen for like 2 more months.
Okay.
But
we're gonna put something in place of Girls for just a little bit and just wait. You guys can guess right now, but it's the best season of anything ever.
There are 2 more episodes of Girls in this season, and then we're gonna do a refresher in between starting the next season of Girls. And it's going to be a show that Amanda and I are going to be like, I'm going to be like
buzzing. All right, let's talk about this episode. I wanted to start out here, and I'm going to have a lot of writers' room content. I got 2 clips I brought you guys today, my little bibbies. And first of all, writers' room, click play. Michael Patrick King's like, hello everyone, this is Michael Patrick King. I'm going to throw it over to the writer or something of the episode, and he's like, tell us what this episode title is and why you made the artistic choice to have it be called They Want to Have Fun and not Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And he's like, well, it's a line in the song. At the end, they do actually say a couple times that they want to have fun. Saying this to literally our demographic who grew up with that song. We know. And then that's the end. No one in the whole podcast mentioned the fact that Sarah Jessica Parker, star of And Just Like That, was in the movie Girls Just Want to Have Fun in the 80s when she was a teenager. And my whole age group, it was like a sleepover guarantee. Every time we went to a sleepover, you're watching that. And I think no one even knew that in the writer's room that she was in that.
Really?
Did anyone? Oh, tell me in the chat now. Did anyone else listen to this most recent episode of the writers' room? Because it was crazy.
I can't at all.
No, you
one bit. Like, it really sends me over the edge. Now, Kate says, "What did you say about too much, Amanda? What's too much? Is that an episode of Girls?"
No, that's that new Lena Dunham show on Netflix. I watched the first episode. It's good. It's no girls, I'll say that. But I will talk about that on Wednesday.
Okay.
But no.
I think Joy has some bestiality kink. If it were SG, you could totally write that.
Bluey. Okay, sorry. Okay, here's another thing. Here's the first thing they said in the writers' room. I'm just going to give you an overall vision of what Heather McDonald, I have a love-hate relationship with her. She went on a little diatribe in this most recent episode where she's like, I figured out what the problem is with the writers' room or what the problem is with the show. The writers are doing the show almost secondarily so that they can then be like an English high school teacher and talk to their students about like some like really like some movie like Little Women. I'm going to teach you about Little Women. Let me like that. And that is what the Writers Room podcast is. They do the show, but then they get on this podcast and like talk to us like we are college students taking English 101.
I just think there's too many podcasts.
Here's the first thing that got the, and then we can move on to like actual topics. But right off the bat, after we learn about the title, Michael Patrick King teaches us there's a thing in writing and in movies or TV called a smash cut and a smash cut. You can kind of write that in so that the director then gets the hint that this is a comedy thing. So he's telling us about that. And then they talk about the smash cut to Lily screaming on her phone about being broken up with. And then one of the women says, oh, who saw this breakup coming with the pansexual, bisexual, polygamous or whatever. And then Michael Patrick King goes, oh, you know who saw it coming? Mr. Burton on the floor there. Did you see that dog's face? Explosive laughter.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This is why me and John got out of theater, because like it was killing my soul to just pretend to like respect or okay. No. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, the way these writers have to sit here with Michael Patrick King and be like, ha 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 ha. I just can't.
Well,
do it.
And again, we found out that MPK is worth what, like $200 million. It's like, hang it up, babe. Just relax off into retirement. You don't need to do this. Though I'm glad they are, because we get to recover it live every Friday at 2 p.m. EST. By the way, if you're just joining us, hit subscribe, hit like quickly. This week, Amanda and I are both going to go see the new Superman movie because I have a new obsession, and it is I've got a new obsession, and it is the homoerotic kind of flirtation going on between the actor who plays Superman and the actor who plays Lex Luthor. That is Nicholas Hoult and what's the other guy's name? I don't know. David Cornsweat or something.
When the preview came on during Jurassic Park, I was like, is that Tom Holland? And she's like, no, that's someone else. And I was like, Tom Holland was the last one. She's like, I think he was Spider-Man. And then the next movie preview we saw, she's like, that's Tom Holland. I'm like, couldn't pick him out of a lineup of two people.
Tom Holland is small. That's what I would know. Like, the guy who's playing Superman is 6'4". He was also in that Pearl movie. So I'm actually kind of jazzed to see it because, again, they have been doing a press tour. You barely see the girlfriend. What's the girlfriend of Superman? You don't know. Lois Lane. I do know that. Plays Lois Lane like at all in these press interviews. It's just Lex Luthor and Superman, and they're like, they do like a truth. What is that thing like a
social? Debbie Gutierrez is here, John. This is a professional stand-up comic. She like legit. I think she was on The View. Yeah.
On what?
Yeah.
The View?
I think she's guest hosted on The View, and she's like very famous. So thank you for joining us over here, Debbie. She's headed on over to the dark side without Jody.
About a million times probably more professional than what.
Oh, for sure. Okay.
Okay. Let's actually get into some other points of the show. So, we had been waiting. We knew what this was going to happen. We had been previewed at this canceled. Now not canceled.
Immediately still a diva. Yes.
I still think people aren't really on her train still. And that is Patti LuPone, darling. Patty's here to play Giuseppe's uptight mother, who isn't born in Italy, but has an Italian accent because she moved to Italy when she's 19.
Okay. I think that's funny. Now, here's what would have made that a laugh out loud moment is if Patti hadn't mentioned it. And then we have the whole episode of her just speaking in Italian and then having Anthony say, what's with all the airs and the accent? She's from Buffalo, the home of Wings or something like that. Like, That would have been funny if
Okay.
Patty had no idea, but you're spending the whole episode with this weird accent, and then Anthony just drops, she's from Buffalo. That would have been very funny. But MPK is not funny.
Well, I thought she looked great.
Yeah,
I do understand completely her hesitation for Giuseppe, who is 20-something, to be with Anthony, who is trying to get someone to lie that he's 55. So that's the lie age. I mean, how,
Jay Swass says it's very Hilaria Baldwin of her. Yeah, for sure. Funny, and I actually
what you say, the bread?
Yeah, the cucumber.
The onion?
I thought Patty was funny in the accent. I could tell that she actually did some like character work because she did go to Julie.
She always does.
Always.
I could tell that her accent work was a layered performance of like a non-Italian born person. It was completely what was being played there, which great. Here's
the thing though, Patty's actual speaking voice already kind of sounds like that. So like she already sounds like she's putting on a little bit of airs and an accent. Anyway, it worked. And it was funny that she says, "Oh, too much singing for my taste." That was funny.
I agree. But I'm surprised that the Writers Room podcast wasn't like, you know what? We knew Patty was going to be on, so we thought, first I'm convinced that originally they wanted her to sing. You don't have a karaoke episode with Patty LuPone if you don't want her to sing. And then she was like, I'm not singing. And they're like, okay, well, we can write a joke for it. Do we think so?
No, I actually know that that's not true. Because I have a clip. I'll tell you, these two clips are about karaoke. You're really gonna die.
Okay. Well, let's wait on that. Start edging, because Amanda does have a clip.
Two clips.
She warned me. She texted me and was like, I have a clip from the Writers Room that's gonna make your asshole clench or something like that. And I'm like, oh, God.
Then after that, there was a second one that came up. I'm like, I don't even know what Joan's gonna do when I play these.
Great. Well, I want to have a little bit of excitement at least. What
do you think about the karaoke though? I thought it went on too long.
I didn't hate it because I did like, my MVP of the season, and I'm convinced bring her in every episode. Work her in. Bitsy, baby. Bitsy was the breath of fresh air in this episode. She's talking about how she needs her trainers moving and how's she going to be able to find someone to get her a pump on. And then she's trying to flirt with Giuseppe.
Which
then
actually
she's so shallow.
Well, it tracks because she was married to a gay man.
Exactly.
So that is
I was like, okay, I'm liking this. This is light. She's like, one of my friends, they're 80, but her face is 50.
Okay, that moment made me so happy because everyone in the room that was sitting around her laughed because that was a funny thing to say. And I was like, oh, it's just the 4 leads that are cunts to her.
She is everything.
You want her at your party. Every time she shows up at a party, Charlotte's like, oh, hi, Bitsy. Oh, God.
I'm convinced after this episode that basically SJP is like on the HBO trailer comment section, I saw, wait, what? Jay Schwa, wait,
Bitsy
what?
took a beating on the HBO trailer comment section, I saw. Well, these are not our people.
Bitsy this show needs Bitsy.
We love Bitsy over here.
I'm convinced, though, that Carrie Bradshaw, and the reason Samantha moved away is because she wouldn't fuck with Carrie Bradshaw. I do wonder why they haven't brought up Bitsy's kid with Bobby Fine. You know what? Why haven't they also brought up the Oyster Restaurant or LTW's dad, who's died twice, that now they're trying to say that was her stepdad?
No, you realize you fucked up, and you don't have somebody who's paid to handle this kind of continuity. So now you're backtracking. Okay,
so I'm convinced that Miranda, especially after the way that Carrie treats her at the end, we'll get to it, and then the way that Charlotte acts with Carrie, they are basically her I don't know, like abusees. Like they're her like beating on people, like her victims. Like what in the heck? Like they can't. It's bizarre because Carrie's like fear of being cringe, but then walking around in the most over the top outfits at times, but being afraid to like, oh my God, I don't want to see girls just want to have fun at my house in front of all these people that I know. Like
to save my best friend because she's drowning up there. So, no, I don't want to.
I know some don't want to make this canon, but Sex and the City 2.
Oh, I know.
Sing I Am Woman.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi.
But that went over like a lead balloon. So I don't know why they'd bring it back. Okay, no, this is the perfect time now to play
Steve.
Or Steve, I know. He's a fellow cancer survivor and 20-year friend of Harry, but don't bother Steve.
He can't hear very well. So
I can't hear anything.
If you try and talk to him, it's just really.
Really quickly, I will play the clip. But somebody in the writers' room said that it was a pre-recorded interview with the director or something. And I bet that she was like, I don't want to be on it because Michael Patrick King won't let anybody else fucking get a word in edgewise. So I'll pre-record a statement and you can play it. But she said, and this is going to blow your mind and it's going to make a lot of sense. She says that it's a nightmare to film a party scene like this because usually Sarah Jessica Parker lives in New York and then Cynthia Nixon is in LA. And so it's impossible because you do scenes, but to get everyone together. So when we figure out the scenes, basically, they filmed a whole party scene not all together because of scheduling conflicts. How about you get all of those actors to all come in for 3 days and pay them as such? But then I was like, oh, that makes sense because you can tell that every time these people are in a scene together, it's like, I haven't seen you in 2 months. So this party was completely filmed with just like 2 people here, 3 people here.
What the fuck?
I'm like, that shows in the chemistry, or the lack of chemistry. That explains it.
So like the part when Miranda is like, "Hey guys, get on up!" Like
just her.
It was like a double. It was like a double of Carrie's big wig piece that she had on the back of her head.
Oh, I'm sure they're using stand-ins as often as possible.
Hey guys, if you're just joining us, hit like, please. I'm going to be incessant. There's 55 people in here, way more than we usually ever have. So
subscribe. We've been 1 or 2 away from 1,300 for days. And it's like 99, 98, 97.
We get 1, then we lose 2, then we get 3, then we lose 2, then we lose 5. It's like, good Lord. Okay, yes, I want to talk about some of these things. Carrie telling Miranda the dog was sick and they've been friends for over 30 years didn't make sense. All Carrie had to say was Charlotte doesn't want anyone to know this, but Harry has cancer. I am glad. I do understand, and I saw in some of the comments that it is definitely Harry's choice what happens, but I am kind of glad that they resolved of being like, you should at least, like, your partner is also going through this as well.
Yeah.
And they need to be able to find support in it somewhere. And if they're having to bottle it up and like pretend to their best friends, then it's not really fair. So yeah, I agree.
Comments last week wrote that Harry's the only good actor. And I would agree. He's definitely the best actor. Like he really, every scene he nails. And about that storyline about the lying about the dog in this, I think there's an again of The Office. There's an episode of The Office where Michael tells everyone Stanley's having an affair, and then Stanley's like, "No, Michael." So then Michael goes and spreads a false rumor about every other person, and it's a great episode. I think that's what MPK is trying to do here. Is this funny, farcical? Oh, whoops! I told this person this. Oh, I told this person this. But then it never really gelled. Probably because no one's in the same room with each other, right?
Probably not. What do you guys think about Dunky?
I mean,
I can't believe that he would want Carrie, but he's hot.
Raging bitch.
Okay. I want to get to the karaoke part because Amanda has clips from the Writers' Room podcast.
They're both very short, okay?
Send me into orbit. So let me see
this one
here.
First. Oh, God. There's one where I started recording because there was something that was said, and then they say a pun at the end, and my jaw dropped. My jaw drops a lot listening to this. All right, here we go.
poor Brady pulling in a very large karaoke machine, which Carrie says, of course, Miranda thinks karaoke is fun. Now, everybody who's watching the show at this point is like, please don't do karaoke on this show. It's been done everywhere. And we're like, yeah, we know that. Watch what we do with it. It is Miranda's idea of fun is karaoke, because that's what the brand is that Carrie insisted that they have. Karaoke.
All the fun.
It is so crazy.
I like, gross.
Okay, I'm gonna first need minor clarification. What exactly did you do with karaoke in this
Wait till
episode?
you see how MPK did.
What did you do with it? You had people singing karaoke. I'm confused.
You also
didn't
did
even use it as
karaoke in
any
the
type of-
second movie, and no one liked it.
I liked that. I'm one of the only Sex and the City 2 fans.
I like it now because I'm just like that.
Well, that's why I like it, because it's garbage. I mean, the girl with the white top getting it all wet in the water and being like,
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's
the nanny. Okay.
You want to hear the second clip, or do you need a second to read?
Okay, so I want to still reel in that. Guys, with the karaoke, I did like multiple parts of the karaoke. Gabrielle, thank you, babe, because I think that it is hated far too much.
Maybe I'll watch that this weekend, because I have no dogs this weekend, so I'm just gonna watch so many movies. I'm so excited.
Meredith, I did think Miranda was buffoonish, but
I thought she was funny.
I think Carrie could have maybe, I don't know, at the party you're hosting, grab the damn microphone and go, oh, girls just want to have fun.
And maybe don't be a bitch about it. Maybe just
don't try and hide in your own home with your friend who then, oh God, okay, we are chugging here. So what are we going to, I don't want to get to this. Okay, should we talk? Okay, there's more. I have
a second clip. I have a second karaoke clip.
Let me just do a shout out to some of the comments here quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have lots of people in here. Thank you. If you guys are new, check out our other lives. Check out all of our other stuff. Hit like, please. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Start writing in the comments too. Let us know. Were you happy that Aiden wasn't in this episode? Because I think that made this episode better.
For sure. He brings an energy into the room. Oh, hi, Carla. Hi,
Lisa says it's an awful movie. Sex and the City 2. Carla, hey girl. Kim Cattrall must be happy she is not in this dog shit. 100%.
Oh, she's loving this.
Miranda was more of a lesbian when she was straight. Okay, there is a moment in this when Joy comes in to kiss, comes in and meets Carrie and is just lovely and her whole whatever she does. And she
Joy?
walks up, Joy.
Yeah.
Comes in, and then Miranda comes up to her and is like, hi, and they kiss. Carrie's facial reaction was almost homophobic. I'm just gonna say it, because she's like,
agreed. I totally know.
She's like,
ew.
You're a sex columnist, girl.
And
you see two women kiss? Get the fuck out of my face. You kissed Alanis Morissette at a party. Don't you remember?
Then she snuck out and Irish goodbye the whole relationship. The kid Henry was on Broadway as a young Michael Jackson. So I was like, all right, you can tell how I was triggered twice in 20 minutes. Immediately, I dreamed a fucking dream. Song, if anyone doesn't know, the reason I got out of theater was my second Les Mis broke me, and I sang I Dreamed a Dream. Second one, Betty Davis eyes. I've been trying to get out of my goddamn head all week because JoJo Siwa famously recorded it.
Betty Davis eyes.
Oh my God, I can't get rid of this shit.
The gardener sang it. Mind you,
Don, he mentioned in his first appearance that he was in a band. So just so you guys know, this is Michael Patrick King. Just so you know, that wasn't just out of nowhere that he had a great voice. Also a great voice.
You don't need to have a band in order to sing a song at karaoke.
Oh, at least we got to hear Bonnie Milligan sing.
Okay.
I mean, it was very shoehorned in.
It was the most shoehorned in, where it's like, hey, can you put my name on that candle? It's a $40 candle. 3 of us putting our names on it. So then she opens the candle. Hey, this is from this person and this person. She's like, you know what? I'm going to give my gift in a song. We know you're a Broadway.
I'm wearing my hair like her today in the episode. She had it into like buns.
Oh.
Okay. Oh my God. The part where Duncan's talking about. Oh yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh God.
When he says that the opening line of Carrie's book being "The woman wondered if she had
what she got herself into,"
and the way that he acted, as though MPK has decided that I'm going to write Duncan to fluff my own ass up about my own writing. Because he's like, oh my God. And now, mind you, this is a man who has multiple like writing awards and like is lauded for his writing. And he has read The Woman Wondered if she had, what was it again?
The woman wondered what she got herself into. He's like, the idea of setting it in the 1860s, but I still felt like I was in New York. I'm like, this is what Michael Patrick King thinks.
Meredith, I was gonna say.
I agree with this too. Are they intentionally making Adam look more and more disgusting in each episode? He looked like he rolled around in the garden with and his shirt looks like he's had it since he was in 7th grade. So it's like the fibers are just like clinging together.
How does he look worse at the party he's invited to than he does when he's working in the garden during the day? He looks more polished and put together then he shows up at this party. He looks as though looks really bad. He's giving like the dude, literally.
For sure. He played drunk very well, I want to say. I think acting drunk is hard, and he played it believably. I guess I'll give it that.
I would agree. Aussie Fly Girl. I think AUS means Australian. A big piece we're missing is Carrie's insight and voiceover. You know, having the columns be the directive of the episodes works so much better than what we have now. Because again, they're trying to use the book as this plot device, I guess, or this thing to move us forward. And it's so banal and so boring and bad that it's like, this is never going to stand up to you writing an article about a mayor or a comptroller candidate wanting to piss on you or wanting you to piss on him. I mean, like, there's no way these things are going to compare.
Speaking of this opening line situation, the very first line of this episode is Carrie knocking on Duncan's door. John, pay attention, because you're gonna lose your mind again. Carrie's knocking on Duncan's door and she goes, I hate you. And he goes, noted, but why? And then Michael Patrick King was like, you guys, it was a bait and switch. It was a misdirection, because then she says, I hate you because the book is so good. Wild laughter.
Okay. I do believe that if they weren't feeling the need to make the podcast, it wouldn't be as insufferable, because I feel like they're making some of this shit up. Like you're just filling time here as you're going, dude. Like, you're kidding.
Heather says the main character in Carrie's book actually just called The Woman. I assume she was using it as a placeholder, but didn't say anything about it to Duncan. Yeah, it's like in Ragtime. It's just mother, father, brother.
Okay, though.
This is no Ragtime.
Did you have another clip, or can we?
Should we now? I'm just waiting for you to cue it.
This Ready? Actually goes in this, Heather. I need a pin in this, because this goes into what happens later with Miranda and Carrie's conversation.
Yeah, that'll be like the last thing we talk about. And we still got 10 minutes, 11 minutes here. All right. I forget what this was, but I obviously thought it to be important. So here we go.
Basically, everybody feels freaked out that this is not the idea of fun. And then when it's time, Miranda tries to take over. There's really, Cynthia as a DJ is beyond delightful.
She commits.
She at the table read. Do you remember at the table read? We were screaming, laughing, because she really goes there.
It's just a new side of her.
We were just like, oh, please, God, let it be as funny as it was at the table. And it is, because
it's even funnier because she's in the space suit.
She's in a space suit. And
she has a lot of movement.
She's got the moves.
She's having.
That's a really good. That clip was very reminiscent of what the vibe of the whole podcast overall.
Hey, Writers Room Podcast, if you want to hire us for $10,000 a month, we'll come on and we'll just follow. We'll yes and anything you say.
No, you could do that? I don't think you could do that.
Give me $10,000 and I'll yes and anything he says when he's like, well, the spacesuit. Yeah, oh my God, the silver. I mean, that was a genius choice.
I thought she looked great, and now I'm realizing they were like, this will be so
actually, that pisses me off more than anyone probably would think, because you're now saying that the fashion of this show, which is one thing that honestly made it semi-iconic throughout the years, is a joke to you. The fashion is a joke. It's not what these women are. It's a joke. And you're telling me that going up and asking people to sing a fucking song is being a DJ? And
I was like, what are you talking about? This is before I did my second rewatch. I'm like, oh, she's not a DJ though. She was just like, who's next?
He's like, hey, this kid has now sang 4 boring songs. Anyone? Let's keep this thing fresh.
And I don't believe that other people wouldn't jump in. People do in general like karaoke. I would jump in there.
Exactly.
Like no one wants karaoke. And then Duncan, oh my God. Duncan later's like, but this is when Bitsy's singing. Duncan's like, I used to like karaoke, but something about it now is a little icky. And then Carrie's like, I'm like, so your little romantic moment here is at the expense of Bitsy, who's just trying to have fun in her widowed days left.
I am sick and tired of what they keep doing to Bitsy. And if they keep doing it, I'm going to beat someone up. Bitsy had beautiful moments and I loved her.
She looked fabulous. And she was the life of the party. Sorry that she's having fun and being nice to everyone and saying funny things.
She also gave Charlotte a Fendi bag that probably cost $8,000. So that was a kind of a funny back and forth when they go, the candle gallery girls who were going to give the $30 candle were like, I thought this was okay, but they're like, and I'm sure MPK thought this was hilarious. They're like, yeah, I don't give gifts to anyone who owns in Manhattan, which fine. And then later, Bitsy gives this incredible bag, and the girls are like, we're fucked. And I mean, that's funny enough. Did he call that a smash cut? Did he say that was a smash cut or
smash cut? The other thing, the biggest laugh of the episode, I remember because I was in the shower and I was like irritated because I'm like, oh shoot, I want to take a clip of their laughing. The biggest laugh time in this podcast, do you want to guess what it was? Like it was probably like 10 entire seconds of just hysterical laughter.
I'm trying to think of the only thing I kind of laughed at was when they sang Shallow, and
it wasn't even at the party.
Too easy, so that yes. Okay. So then what was it?
It was when Patty notices the bronzer on Anthony's neck. He's wearing this bronzer. Can you believe it? He's trying to impress his mother-in-law, and boy, he's not doing a good job of it. They were cackling. Like, how out of touch are all you people?
I fucking hate that shit. I fucking hate it. I hate it.
John's like, are you gonna bring clips to like every episode? I'm like, I think people like it.
I think she likes to torture. I think there's an element of trolling. And honestly, I'm glad because it really, like, even in this moment when I'm like, you know what, the episode was okay. And then I realized that they are just on a whole other plane of reality. It's like, okay, go on.
Once Heather McDonald kind of figured that out, like this, she's like, I have more fun listening to it now that I've kind of figured out what the dynamic is here, is that the show is secondary to them getting to then fluff themselves to everyone later and speak to us like they are a failed college professor.
Yeah, I guess, but like
they love it. But then the thing is that Michael Patrick King wrote the first series and the comeback. It really doesn't make any sense.
We have to see what happens with comeback season 3. Is it going to be really? What the thing is, though, that works for the comeback. The out of touchness, the all of that works more for the comeback than we don't. Anyway, bring Bitsy on full time. I think Samantha was the only one who initially knew Bitsy. Samantha did the PR for one of Bitsy's fabulous parties. Oh yeah,
Samantha would never treat Bitsy like that. Samantha's a good friend.
How could they turn Seema into a broke? They just want to humble her and put her with that awful gardener.
This gardener thing, I'm like, are the two of you under the impression that you are having a romance because you just want to fuck each other? There's no actual romance here. Also, when he says, she's like, what about your yoga girlfriend? And he's like, I broke up with her the second I smelled your perfume. And I'm like, and the writer's room was like, what's more romantic than that? I'm like, well, it's actually not, because I guess fuck you, yoga girl. And also, think you're going to lose him the way you get him, because does that just mean that he's going to break up with her the second he smells someone else's perfume? That's not romantic to me. I'm like, oh, so you're just.
I think it's insane. If I heard that someone broke up with their boyfriend the second they smelled my cologne the first time they met me, I'd be like, you're nuts. Get the fuck out of my face. I mean, though she needs a dick down, I guess, because they leave and he puts it in her.
Yeah, but like, are we supposed to believe, like, is this a long-term thing? He's a fuckboy. He's obviously a fuckboy.
Well, now she's like, I don't know what they're doing for any of these characters, I'll be honest.
She's also really bitchy lately too. She enters a room and she's like,
that's why I'm surprised. I don't see them even sparking, because it's like, what are they getting?
There's no tension. And then the eyelash scene I thought was coming across as, I don't know, maybe racist or something, but it was out of touch too, because she walks in, this guy's like fabulous. And she's like, oh, honey, I got your eyelashes. And then it turns out that they're awful. And they're like, oh, it was lashes and lashes. Obviously, it's not going to be good. This is MPK saying this.
Oh my God. I was thinking that too. It felt very microaggression-y, because the person doing the lashes had really long nails. They had braids, and they're
really non-binary-esque, or like
the idea is that she's gone to this terribly trashy place that is so cheap, and this totally disgusting person of color gave her a sty in her eye because they did her eyelashes.
This is a person that I would be like, choose as I'd be like, oh, I want to be that person. That person's fabulous.
Well, then it causes Seema to fashion her own eye patch out of, and then cause the guy to sing She's Got Betty Davis eyes.
That was Michael Patrick King's first, another huge laugh line. But another thing they said in the writer's room was, now we get to, and this is what we're about to get to, now we get to what I'm going to say is my top 3 favorite Carrie Miranda scene ever. That's what Michael Patrick King said.
Really?
Yeah, we've written some good stuff for them, but this one was just the nuance. I'm like, oh, where Carrie's just a total bitch and Miranda is walking on.
I was going to say, what nuance? Like, you've completely castrated the character that ever was Miranda, and you've made Carrie such an egregious bitch that, like, we get it that you are upset. I can see, okay, I believe there was layers to this. I wouldn't call it nuance, but I would say the reason Carrie was acting the way she was in the last argument was because Aiden fucked Kathy last episode. Like, and she had to act like that was no big deal. But as an audience member, we're watching and we're thinking, okay, bitch, just last episode, you said it was no big deal that, like, who would have thought for a second that, like, I would care if you had sex with someone else because it's 5 years, Aiden, doy. And then now in this one, Miranda for a second is like, oh yeah, you and Duncan, like, had some, like, didn't even say you had chemistry. She just was like, oh, you guys, like, were hitting it off really well.
She's like, yes, I had a glass of whiskey. Is that all right with you?
And she's like, I don't have anything with him. I'm in a relationship. I'm with Aiden.
20 years in, Miranda.
And then rightly, which, see, I am not, if you guys could probably take a wild guess, but to my friends, I am in no way a Miranda in this scene, because my initial thing is like,
I'm not either.
You need to break up with Aiden. There's no way you need to be with this man. He's ruining your life, and he's actually making you a worse person.
Yeah, I don't have fun. You're being a real blast right now, Carrie. And this whole season, you've been like, oh, well, cloud.
Yeah. And they, of course, had to do this in their teeny tiny kitchen while Miranda's eating a piece of cake.
At that little table.
She can't put the cake on the table. She has to hold it.
Miranda says, the girl didn't know what she got herself into. It was in your book. And then it's almost as if Carrie was in that moment putting together, oh, this is about me. Because I think that's what the writers wanted us to think, that Carrie's like processing it.
That was the piece. Okay, there was that where it was along with what Heather was saying about calling the character in the book the woman.
Yeah.
I think they really want us to think that Carrie is oblivious to the fact that she is writing this book through her, like, as herself. Like, is she again watching herself from an outside, like that fugue state or whatever, where is that what it's called? Where you are like outside your body and you're, because that's what it's feeling like, Carrie. It doesn't.
Here's a good point. After also 20 years, you were both married. Yeah. So if I got back together with Brad, would this be a 20-year relationship? Me and Brad
get back together with Brad. He fucks his ex-wife, his then now ex-wife. Yeah. He has his children in Virginia, and you're going back and forth. And we're sitting in your kitchen. Oh my God. And then we're sitting in your kitchen, and you're like, we've been together 20 years. And I'm like, well, you kind of had good few vibes with this other guy. And you're like, I'm in a relationship, John. And I'm like, Amanda, it just doesn't seem like, the point that Miranda makes is that you just seem to be doing a lot of work. It seems like a lot of work for not much payoff, basically. And she's like, well, that's what happens when you're together for 20 years. Mind you, again, you have not been together for 20 years, Carrie. First, you were together, you broke his heart, and then he broke your heart. You took a huge chunk of time in between. You got back together when you shouldn't have gotten back together. And now does the show want us to feel what way?
You know what I also thought of is that they said to Che, who I guess doesn't exist anymore, but that last season, like Carrie's like, Che's like, why did you guys even break up? And Carrie's like, I made a mistake. So I think maybe I guess I get that Carrie's like, fuck. Like, I think it's a sunken cost fallacy thing. Where it's like, I put so much effort into this disaster of a relationship that it has to work out. It has to work out.
I just wish then we got to see a little bit more vulnerability in that. I think we're missing that as an audience member, where if I could be in on that feeling of Carrie being like, I just need to make this work, something, it would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, and just Miranda, I mean, I just don't think that 20 years, that's how long we've been friends. And we're very comfortable raising our voice. And like, we can go back and forth. I just don't think that if you've been friends that long, that either one of us would be like, oh, I'm sorry. When also, it's for your own goddamn good.
Carrie and Miranda were friends before Carrie and Aiden were ever anything. Just saying.
Carrie is a pick-me, and Adam is a fuck boy. What else did we learn?
I can't believe that there is no talk of being a mourning widow or anything. That is
next week though. Miranda. No, I'm gonna love this storyline. Miranda. I'm sure they're gonna fuck it up. But Miranda, I guess Joy wants to leave a bottle of gin at Miranda's house, and then Miranda hasn't told her that she's sober yet. So then Miranda goes to Carrie and Charlotte and says, maybe I'll just be like a sometimes drinker. So I like that storyline. I promise it'll last for 20 minutes and then be fully like,
I thought she did tell Joy that she was sober.
No, they went out that one time and she's like, this is the best seltzer water I've ever had. But like that conversation would naturally then turn into, oh, I don't drink. That's
I think you would assume
about the seltzer.
I think Joy's smart enough to like put 2 and 2 together there. So it's going to be another LTW's dad died twice situation. It's like,
you're right.
Here will be the resolution of the episode. So Joy will be like, well, we went out that one time. The first time we went out, you had seltzer. So I knew something.
Well, then she's kind of an asshole for wanting to leave alcohol in her house. But anyway, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Look, I thought this was a fabulous live. Fabulous. I love jazz. Thank you all for joining us.
Here's the unfortunate thing is, yes, some people are just joining us. What you can do, though.
You go back and rewatch and leave a little comment.
Yes. Also, please, we are in a restructuring phase. I do want to, so make sure you join us next Wednesday live. We will still be live next
Farewell
Wednesday.
Live. But we're going to make it so
I'm feeling bad, kind of.
I don't feel bad at all. I
would like, go back, y'all. If you are the type that feels like it, why don't you go back, rewatch the whole thing with the live comments playing.
Oh, no.
And, take a wild guess.
Something may have sent us over the edge.
Anyway, but we love you guys so much. That's the problem is we have so many amazing people who are so devoted. Sarah, Rebecca, Jay Schwa,
Florida Stanley, Debbie joined us. All of you new people, we're so happy to have you. Oh my gosh, we're gonna right now record this whole episode, and now we've gotten all of our like crazy thoughts out, so we can be a little bit more focused. And then I'm gonna drop that immediately after, so a couple hours.
Yep. Last couple questions here. The restructuring is we're going to just change up the weekly roundup a little bit, and actually we'll release it on YouTube in some smaller, shorter clips that are more specific, if that makes sense. You know, we really are hoping that we can get some more views, and like, you know, I know there's reasons maybe that we aren't getting them. Right? I'm just kidding. So just kidding, Carla. It has nothing to do with you, babe.
No.
And then Kate, we will still be here Friday. So if you are new, we've only been doing our Wednesday lives, just one live a week for like a year. So this actually really isn't much of a change. It's just that we're still going to be doing. It's giving us a chance to just do one live a week instead of needing to do two, which at this moment is hard for us. Yeah, Amanda already does 2 on Monday, so it's a challenge, and we think that maybe this way too, if you're interested in just seeing like what we thought about the movie, like last week, like we saw Jurassic World, or if you want to just see what we thought about Drag Race or whatever, we're gonna have like some shorter. That's the thought. Who knows? You guys know how it is.
You know how it is. We love you. But join us on this last live on the 16th. Yeah, 16th.
But we will still be here Friday. We will still be here Friday.
After and just like that, we'll still be here Fridays, and we'll think of something else. Maybe the comeback will start at the same time. That'd be so fucking great. We get to do the comeback.
Rebecca, it did slightly come from this Wednesday's live, but also I think in general.
Yeah, I think just in general. Not in a really bad way. Just like we both were like bringing up points, and we're like, oh, that would be better. Oh, that would be better. That would actually be much better.
In general, I know it seems crazy, but it's a lot of work to pull together like 20 stories. So if we can kind of streamline ourselves down to like a fewer topics and then more kind of, I don't know, that's where we're at. But we do have a Patreon. So if you want to join that community too, and we're doing lives on Patreon.
Pillow Talk. And so, you know, just subscribe to everything, and then you'll get notifications on when these things happen. All right, we gotta go. We gotta go record now, but you guys are all awesome, and make sure you stick around, like, subscribe, share, leave more comments afterwards with all the comments. That's it. You Andy, you'll have to go back and watch. My internet was out, but
you probably won't even be able to tell. You'll just be like, oh.
Okay, but anyway, that's it. We love you guys so much. This episode was heinous, and everyone go listen to the Writers Room podcast. Holy shit. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and check back in a couple hours for our full episode. Bye-bye.
We love you guys. Bye.